As we watch Craig swim, we can see that we've got a nice relaxed stroke. We've got an excellent body position. His head's just probably a little bit too low now, if anything else. You can see how his head's actually disappearing underneath the water. What is good is you've got nice relaxed arm action, you've got nice high elbow recovery, and really getting those hands, and they're going straight into the water. They're driving down towards the bottom of the pool. The legs are a little bit low in the water. We can probably do a little bit more work on kicking from the hip, a little bit of flexion in the knee, and just lifting those heels up just a little bit higher. I'm not talking about kicking harder, I'm just lifting those lifting those heels up a little bit further. What we can also see is we're getting good hip rotation, good shoulder rotation. It's nice to see we're breathing every 3, but we can see that Craig's still turning his head a little bit too far to the side, and he's getting both goggles out of the water. You need to keep one goggle in the water and just breathe out as you're swimming along. As we watch Steve swim, we can see we get a much better push and glide than we had originally. What we can also see is we're getting both arms, we've got a much higher elbow recovery, and you can also see that the body position generally is pretty good. Head position's pretty much perfect. We can see that his right hand goes into the water, and both hands actually go quite a long way over the surface before they actually hit the water. And we can maybe work with just trying to get those hands into the water a little bit sooner, particularly that right hand. And if you watch coming back, it just goes quite a long way. It reaches quite a long way before it gets into the water. He's getting excellent catch position though, and his fingers are pointing down towards the bottom of the pool, and we're looking at a good push phase through the water. One little thing that could be worked on is Steve needs to work on breathing every 3 just to bring a bit more balance to the stroke. But breathing every 4 is a massive improvement. And again, with the goggles, keep one goggle in the water, one goggle out the water. Again, as we just watch this push off, nice streamlined push off, just about clears the flags. But we're breathing almost every 2 or every 4 strokes. We need to keep one goggle in the water. Breathing every 4 brings a lot more balance to his stroke. As we watch Tony swim, we can see that his body position's almost there. The top half of his body is pretty good. We're getting his head's in the right place, his shoulders are clearing the surface, and his hips are just a little bit low. But if you look at his legs, they're really low. And I think Tony could really benefit from a wetsuit that really brings buoyancy to the legs. What we can also see is that Tony's not really pointing his toes. You really need to point those toes like a ballerina. Imagine you've kicked a football and you're really putting some oomph behind it, and you really flex those toes. If you zoom in on his toes here, you can see that his toes are actually pointing down towards the bottom of the pool, and we need to get them up. And when there's no kick going on, we need to really try and lift that kick up. I know he's got a pool boy, but we really need to try and lift those legs up a little bit further. Watching Tony swimming, we just need to look at the front end of his stroke a little bit more here. And I'm just looking at his breathing. And actually, when he's breathing every 3, it's coming all the time. And he's actually not far away. He's turning his head to one side, both sides. He's got one goggle just about in the water. It's not bad at all. It's actually going to be a case of perseverance and keep going with that. And it's just fitness. And that will come with practice.